Hey, it's Matt. Welcome back. Today I have a good one here for you. You're going to want to stick around to the end because I got this box and all of its contents, and there was a hidden surprise in this thing that wasn't shown in the pictures. So let's get into it. I got this thing at an auction for 200 bucks, and I was mainly just bidding on it because I've been looking for a bottom box and a top box and a middle box for quite a while and just been waiting for the right price, the right timing. There's a lot of these on Facebook Marketplace, but it's hard to, just schedule everything and just the logistics of it. So saw this one in the auction, figured I'd bid on it. It looked nice. I didn't go and look at it. There were some really bad pictures of the stuff that was inside of this box, and I couldn't really tell if it was good quality or not. It kind of looked junky, and there was a lot of like parts and supplies in it, so not too many tools in it, but there was some good stuff, and there was one thing in it. Again, wait till the end. I'll show you that. I got that down in the man cave, but let's take a look. I pulled out all of the good stuff and stuck it in here, but let's just take a quick look at the box. Nothing too fancy, a little dingy. I wiped it down really quick, but didn't give it a good clean down, good rub down, but not too bad. It has the metal handles on the side for the older ones. The newer boxes, after I want to say like in the 2000s, they started switching over to the plastic handles. I don't really like those too much. And then in the 90s, I think they went to the roller slides. So this one has the friction slides on it. And the bottom box is a 1978. And if you're ever curious as to where the date codes are on the cabinets, they're down there. So we got 03 is 78. So March is 78. And in the top box, the date code is usually right over here. So 10 is 77. So we got a 78 or 77 top, 78 bottom of that style logo on there. Again, they're the friction slides. Some of these drawers aren't too great, but I can pull them all out, lube them up, clean them, bend them up a little bit, and make them a little tighter. There's stuff you can do to get them going good. But let's take a look at all the good stuff that I got in this box. Again, nothing too crazy. Some friction tape, Dutch brand, new in the box, and a Chase brand. Got a little magnet, one of the magnet little grabber tools. A Lyle BT1 battery terminal kind of cleaner offer deal. Some Thorson sockets. We have a Walden and some Snapon stuff here. A Snapon F2 something A. Little drag link sockets, these clutch drive sockets. A couple of F30s, I believe these are. I don't know what brand that is. It might be a Snap-on. But we got the F30, the older style Snap-on, in really good shape. So those are pretty cool. We have a 10-piece flat ratchet Oxwall socket set, and they're all in there. Ratchets in there, the extensions in there. Really cool in the box. Don't know, I might be able to get a 10 spot for that thing. A Snap-on 5A socket. And this is really cool. We got one of those SR sockets. I've had a discussion with a couple of people about these, that these are maybe Sears Roebuck, and that they were made by Plum. So not sure about that, but pretty cool socket. A little beat up, but I'll take it. We got a Wright X79 little stud remover. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty penny there. And then we got, what do we have? Holochrome hex key set, Allen set. I don't know if they're all supposed to, this brand are supposed to be in there, but cool case. A couple of feelers here. This one's really cool. We have ourselves a California Tool FG17 Los Angeles, and I believe this is the California Tool that was pre-Plum. So that's really cool. We got a Bonney K52, that was cool, and a Caterpillar. So I figured I'd throw those in the nice stuff bin here. Got a Stanley 594A, one of the little mallet replacement rubbers on there. And then these over here, we have some Amco stones, a 4040 and a 3840. And these are little replacement stones for your hones. And then this is another stone. I'm not going to pull it out of there. I don't know what it's for. I don't know why I put it in there. But that's it for all of the sockety stuff, and then some other miscellaneous stuff. Let's see what else we have here. We have some screwdrivers. Two of these little easy drivers in the package. I'll probably sell those both together. I don't know what I'll get for those. We have an OTC 729 screw starter. I don't think we got, oh yeah, we got nut drivers in here. So some Xcelites, a nice convertible Xcelite one. That one's cool. That's a USA, just one of those quick, kind of like that, but it's got the locking thing on it. I thought this was cool. I don't think it's anything special, but a little flexy little nut driver. Got a Vaco, that's a whatever, hex drive. There's a bunch of sockets down in here too. There's 5 of them in there, so that might be the whole set in there. Some Craftsman Circle V Barn A nut drivers. So some old Craftsman nut drivers, a 5/16 and a 3/16. And then these down here are Oxwall. And there were a bunch of other nut drivers in there, but they're all full of white stuff. I think they got battery acid on them or something, because it will not come off of there, and they're pretty nasty. So these are the best of the nut drivers in there. And again, I wasn't after this. I wasn't bidding on this for the contents of the box. I kind of just said I cannot figure out if any of this stuff is good, so I just said I'm bidding up to what I think this box is worth. So again, I think $200 for the bottom and the top. I think that's pretty good for this box. All of this other stuff in here is just a bonus. So let's see what else we got. Some wire cutters, some wire crimpers, Gardner Bender little whatever, continuity tester. A couple of these, I think these are for locking center caps or locking hub caps from back in the day. I think that's what these are. We got 3 of those of different varieties. And then we have ourselves a Her brand. I think I got one of these a couple videos back. I'll have to see if it's the same size. I think it is. A couple of Nicholson files, and then a couple of thread files here. And these are pretty cool. We got one Bonney, and then this one, a Fillon Paris. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I've looked up those, and those fetch a pretty penny if they're in good shape. What else we have here? All right, this is our wrench drawer. We got a couple Ford-style wrenches, a Barcelo. I think this one is I think it's a shield with the V, so I think that's a Velcheck. We have a Ford wrench here. And this came from like a guy who collected Ford stuff, did a lot of stuff with Model A's and Model T's, so some of this stuff is like really old Ford-related stuff. A Blackhawk 5, I don't know if that's when they started doing those numbers for the date code, if it was in the 30s. I think it was in 37, so this might be a 45, if I remember correctly. We got a Diamond M, a little ratcheter, and it works. It ratchets good. This is really cool. I had to put this in here. We have a Pennins extension chopped off, 90-degreed onto a box end wrench. So I'm definitely going to hang on to that thing. That's pretty cool. This, I have no clue what it is, so maybe you can help me out with it. We have a Blackhawk. It's a VT1116H, so I think that stands for valve tool, possibly. Sometimes that's what they did with them. And it has this weird end on it. Focus, focus. Come on now. What are you doing? There we go. So that says VT1116B, and this threads off from here. So I don't know if you could get different attachments for this thing. So I don't know what that is. So if anyone knows, I tried to stick it in on the Google machine, and it doesn't tell me anything. We have a bunch of ignition wrenches here. This one's really cool. We have a foreign, from Germany, Reldco, I don't know how you pronounce that, 5.5 5mm in really nice shape. So that's definitely a score. We have an old Blue Point. Not sure what size it is. All these are pretty corroded. 2 Dunlops Awards Master, and I think that's an industrial, but I can't read anything off of it. We have a bunch of Craftsman single line V's, polished ones and then unpolished ones, and then a couple of miscellaneous wrenches that I threw in there. This, I don't know what brand it is. I should have looked it up and tried to do the research. Maybe I will and stick a note up here somewhere, but 3/8, it's a triangle in the eye. I don't know what that is. 753J. So I thought that was pretty sweet. What else do we have here? I got a couple more drawers, right? All right. We have an Estling hammer. It's a little rusty, but I think I can clean that up. I used to have one of these. I don't know where it ran off to, so now I have one. This is weird. It's like a sword, hammer kind of thing. I posted this on Facebook just to see if anybody knew what it was, and the best response I got was that it was a roofing tool for old slate tiles, so I'm not sure if that's correct, but if any of you all know, let me know. I thought it might have been some kind of firefighting specialty tool or whatever, you know. I don't know. I don't know anything. Glass tubing cutters. This would have been worth a lot of money if it wasn't broken. We got ourselves a Ham's Brewery, St. Paul, Minnesota, a little corkscrew. And this part right here is broken. If that wasn't broken, this would be worth a $75 bill all day long. But it's broken. Somebody might want this just to have it, so it might be worth a couple of bucks to somebody. I might stick it on the Evil Bay to see if there's any takers for a broken one. I don't know what this is. No clue. But I figured I'd stick it in here. This is a little KD 292. I think this is for GM wiper motors, maybe. And then we got those like internal ring plier thingies. This I have no clue what it is. It's a screwdriver of some sort. It has some sort of phenolic material right here in the middle, but it's got like a flat blade screwdriver, different sizes on each end, and then these like flip push up. There's a spring in there. I don't know. All right, I don't know. All right, what else we got here? We have some spinners. These are all Waldens, except for this one. This is an OTC, so great variety of different Walden stuff in there. And that's about it for this thing. So I don't know, what do you think? 200 bucks just for that stuff? I think I did pretty good for the box and all of the stuff in there. But let's go down into the man cave and see what kind of hidden gem was in here, and I think you're gonna like it. All right, I have to do a dramatic reveal for this because I was really excited and surprised when I opened up that drawer. So I want you to be as surprised as I was. So just imagine yourself buying a toolbox just for the box and not really caring what kind of tools were inside of it. And then you open up the drawer and you find this in there. Look at that. Beautiful Snap-on nut spinner set. And I think this thing is really special. I think I found something that's rarer than hen's teeth in here. So let's take a look and I'll tell you why I think that. Let's see what we have here. We have a socket set, 12 point. We have one socket in here that isn't a Snap-on. It is a Ken tool, 1.5 inch, 3/4 drive. And then we have something over here that's not Snap-on as well. But let's get into this Snap-on stuff. This is not a 3/4 drive like this socket. This is a 5/8 drive set here. Now, a couple videos back, long time ago, I got a 1927 set that was 5/8, and I had all of the spinners in there, or the speed wrenches and what have yous in there. Didn't have a ratchet in there, but there were also some 1/2 inch drive sockets from the same era, a 27, 28, and I think there might have been a 29 in there. But this stuff is all marked either from 1929 to 1932, 5/8 drive. But I think the thing that really makes this special is this breaker bar right here. I have not seen anything like this. I have scoured the interwebs to try to find this model number, HD11 breaker bar in a 5/8. And I can't find anything that even looks remotely close to this. They all have the more modern style handle at the bottom here, you know, the raised whatever grip on there. It's got the pass through for the pipe on there. Unbelievable. I don't know, I think this thing is pretty rare. Let's look at the date code on this thing. We have the 0 for 1930 and the asterisk for 1931, so it's double stamped. I have a socket that I got a while back that's like this. So I think that's the star of the show right there. Definitely really, really cool. Again, I can't believe I found this in there. Let's take a look at these sockets here. We have an 1 7/16", and This one is stamped. Let's see here. Where is the date code on it? There it is, just stamped with the asterisk. So in 1931, we got ourselves an 1.25 inch, and that one has the shamrock on it, 3-leaf clover, which is 1932, and the 0 for 1930. We have an 1 1/16, I think this one is. Yeah, you can barely read it on there. 1 1/16. This one just has the asterisk on it. Then we have a 1 inch. And this one is stamped with just the asterisk. We have a 31/32. That's a cool socket. And this one has -9 for 1929 and the asterisk for 1931. And then we have a 15/16, which has, oh, we got a 9 there and the asterisk. So really, really cool. And the other really cool thing about that is this adapter that's sitting over here. This is not a Snap-on, but it's a 5/8 drive to a 3/4 drive. So probably in here because that socket was in here. But this, check this out. This is a really old Cornwell. Really, really cool. Sweet. I can't believe it. What do you think? I don't even know what this thing is worth. I've seen sets similar to this going for around $200, but they have a T-bar in it. And that's the only real ones that I've seen were just with a T-bar. I have never seen this breaker bar in there. So I think I got something pretty special here. What do you think? Let me know. What do you think of that toolbox? I think it's pretty sweet. I think I got a good deal. And then I got all of the tools that were in that toolbox. I might do a separate video on those, so stay tuned for that. We'll go through everything that I found in that box. It's nothing too crazy. There was one screwdriver drawer in there that might have some good stuff in it, but I kind of just threw it all in a box and got out of there. So I'll go through that later. Maybe we'll do that the next video here. So like, subscribe. Have a good one.